Hey guys, so I wanted to do a unboxing review of the Banshu Chioni clone. I literally like 2 seconds ago unboxed this thing, and have just got to flipping it. So I wanted to just do a quick little review of it. So first off, the unboxing experience, let's get this out of the way, was almost immaculate. Like, this is better than like literally any knife I've unboxed before. Like, not even like including authentic knives, like not clones. So this cover is these 4 dots in the corners are magnets. So there's magnet inserts into the wood, and then this glass panel like comes up, and there's these black dots in the corner of the glass that are also magnets, so it keeps these things in check. There's screws, so both set screws and normal screws for both. So there's 2 sets of set screws and normal screws. There's 2 bushings, 4 extra washers, and I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's just maybe like something that's like related to the logo or something. I'm not entirely sure. The knife was in here, and yeah, I mean, there's this sleeve on it. I'm not really sure what this says, but that was really cool. So first off, this thing, the Chioni by Banshu, I've heard is the exact same handles as the authentic one. So they're the same, like literally the exact same handles. But the blade is different. So this is a false edge, which is, yeah, extremely false. Literally no sharpness to it at all. One thing I've noticed though is it's very oily, actually. So let me just rub this blade really quick. Let me put the camera down for a sec. Yeah, so it's really actually extremely oily. I just wiped it off, but there's a lot of, you can see on that safe handle there's like a lot of lube that's like, there you can see it, that's surrounding the pivot. So whoever was lubing it up maybe gave it a little bit too much, but the handles are also a little bit oily, so I'm just wiping it down all around real quick. This thing was, I think, 130. 130 sounds right, yeah. All right, so let's get to flipping it. Okay. Ooh. That ice pick bounce it's not loud. I wouldn't say it's very loud, but the ice pick bounce is like, it's like really soft but also really bouncy. Oh my gosh, that tune is great. That's definitely the best cologne tune I've ever seen. My hands are a bit sweaty right now, and it's a little bit slippery on these kinds of handles. But I think overall this weight, I think like balance is handle biased, but it has some good tip weight, which makes fans pretty good. If you can see, there's a little bit of wobble. Yeah, so there's a bit of wobble, so it is a little bit handle biased. I'd say its handle bias feels close to a Kraken. Actually, really similar to a Kraken kind of handle bias. So very solid for flipping. For $130, this is a big chunk of titanium. with a false edge. I would have preferred a live blade, but that wasn't an option. And I guess if it was a live blade at that point, I'd just be buying the authentic Chioni, because, like I said, these are the real handles that the actual Chioni uses. I've also checked in on the Chioni, and I've not seen it in stock, like literally ever. So I don't know if like the real Chioni by Nolo B is like discontinued or what. I haven't really looked into that. So like I said, this is a bit handle biased. It has a really good bounce that's just really satisfying in the hands. One of the most satisfying bounces ever. I'll let you listen to it. So yeah, it sounds really good. It's also kind of quiet, and the tune is extremely good, so it's really solid. Although my one complaint is the grip. I'm sure if you have dry hands, though, this wouldn't be a problem. But for me, with sweaty hands, I tend to find that textures that are like milled diagonal lines like this, you can see there's like those diagonal milling lines as grip. I tend to find that those actually make my hands sweat more, which is really annoying. And one thing I did to fix it, so I have this Tsunami by the One as well, which also has those diagonal millings, but what I did to fix it is I sanded down the faces. So you can see that there's a lot of color on the sides, like that ano, but then you go to the faces, there's a lot of silver, that like silver coloring. So the ano is basically not on the faces as nearly as much as it was when I first got it. And so I just reduced that texturing. And for me, that flips a lot better. There's actually like a lot more grip. I don't think I'm going to do it on this Chioni because I think the all black look is really good, and having some silver, just like beat up look added to it would kind of ruin its aesthetic. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that, but we'll see if it really annoys me. I think this is, it feels like 4.4, maybe 4.5 ounces. Yeah, that sounds about right. Might be even like closer to 4.6. So somewhere in that 4.4 to 4.6 range. So it's definitely heavy. Or at least if it's not heavy, it feels like it has the feel of a heavy balisong because it's so squared off. So, I mean, look at these handles. Those are extremely blocky, you know. And even in the hands, the corners aren't like too round. Like, they're not sharp or anything. That's not what I'm trying to say. But, you know, like I said, it's just very square-like. So the corners aren't rounded, like perfectly like a Kraken would be. You know, like those handles are very square-like, but they're very, very rounded off. Whereas these are more of a corner at each corner, you know. So let's see, what else is there to talk about? There's a little bit of movement there. I mean, it is a clone. It's not like a machine-wise product, so there's going to be a little bit play. But I'm actually astonished by how tight this tune is. I mean, I don't even think I would need to sand it or anything. Like this, he's like, if it came worse with a worse tune, I would sand it to about where it's at right now. And get its tune to like this level. Like I said, $130. I think this might just become my daily trainer, you know, because, or like, you know, a beater trainer ish, because this thing flips super nice. Let's see how it does at Chaplin's. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It sticks on there pretty easily. Let's see. Can I go slow? Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Give me a sec. Gotta grab this now. Okay. So, yeah. Excuse the video for being a lack of editing. I'm just lazy. But, so I won't be taking that out. But, Chaplain-wise, very comfortable. Let's see. Can you tell the difference? Oh, yeah, you can tell the difference. It slightly hurts if you're on the actual blade. So I would say this is actually a good trainer for somebody who is getting into the hobby, wants a solid balisong, but doesn't want to spend a huge amount of money, and also doesn't want a live blade. I'd say this is a very solid pick. It's good at rollovers because of that handle bias. It's good at fans. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's decent at fans. Yeah. And the ice pick is just wow. Every time I do a shortstop, I'm just surprised by the bounce at the end. Of course, I fail it there, but yeah, there's just that bounce at the end that's like really high quality. I'm like actually surprised. I think it's pinless. Yeah, I don't see pins. Yeah, it's pinless. So that's actually quite shocking that it's such a good bounce on pinless. Usually you'd have to break some pinless designs in. I'm thinking of like the Orca, the Bally Plus Orca. That thing needs to be broken in for like a week or two before you can get it to have some good bounce. Because up to like right when you get it, it's pretty dead in the hands. So let's see how this closes. I mean, it is just really, it's bouncy yet soft. I don't know how to explain it. Like you go to the, I mean, it almost doesn't, it's like too good. It doesn't feel like this is $130. Definitely a worthwhile purchase, I'd say, actually. Amazing packaging quality, like I said. Really high-grade titanium, since it is the same handles as the authentic. Great trainer option, since it's a false edge, so you get the same balance profile as what the authentic would be, but it's obviously not a live blade, so you can like learn new tricks on it and stuff. All black look, I think it looks really good. My one complaint is just the grip. It's a little bit slippery, but like I said, that's just because I have sweaty hands. So for somebody who has dry hands or doesn't have hyperhidrosis, like, you're gonna be a-okay with this thing. I would actually give this like a genuine 10 of like, should you buy. It fits the role of like a blocky, heavier balisong, meaning that you can work more on flow. And not have to like get in the bad habit of just going extremely fast for every trick, which is I think personally is a good thing. So if you think you flip too fast, I think a heavier balisong is good for you because it makes you slow down, and I think that's good to learn for everybody because it helps you develop your own kind of style. Right, some people are really good at starting slow and then going fast at some points and then going back to slow. And then they can speed up and then slow down again. And I think that ability of just like being able to change your flipping speed on command is actually pretty helpful. It also makes you get more comfortable with tricks because if you can do them both fast and slow, it means you're basically able to throw them into any combo at will, And it doesn't matter if you like mess up your hand positioning, you're able to adapt pretty easily and get the trick off. So like worthwhile purchase 100%. Durability 100%. Sound, it's quiet, but it's a good sound. Definitely, it is a good sound. Bounce 10. Tune, I give it like a 9.5. It's actually really good. Grip, my personal experience with this kind of grip, where it's like diagonal milling lines, is it's like a 7. It's like average, not that great. But I'm sure for everybody else, this grip works wonderful. Actually, I know for everybody else, this grip is really good and it's preferable. So, unless you're like me, grip 10, 9 maybe. Price, $130 for full titanium. And I think the blade steel is like D2. It doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say. But D2 is pretty good. So, that could be wrong though. I bought this off BBKS Battle Songs. So go get yours. I'm not the biggest clone supporter, but I guess since this is kind of like the authentic handles, it's probably somewhat supporting the original maker. And yeah, design-wise, like looks, aesthetics, you tell me, guys. I think it's a really nice look. And yeah, that's the Banshu Chioni clone. Half clone, I guess. The blade is the only thing that's a clone. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the jimping. Jimping is... It's there. It's on both sides. It's pretty long. I mean, it works. I'm not good at ladders anyways, so I can't do like an infinite ladder forever. But my hands are really sweaty right now, so I'm not going to try. But the jimping works. Yeah, I'd say it works. There's definitely grip there. So yeah. Banshu Chioni. Definitely give it a buy. Try it out for yourself. See if you like the balance, you like the feel of a heavy ballad song that's pretty square-like, blocky almost. Or if you just need, a really solid trainer, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. I think this is definitely like all around worth your money. And maybe you can buy a Chioni blade, a real Chioni blade from somebody else eventually and swap it out so that you can have a live blade instead. So yeah, definitely give it a try.